Hello, my name is John Muzio. Welcome to the 7th session of the application of astrological concepts along with current scientific paradigms to explain how it would be possible to attain a computer simulation. In our last session, a firing order of numbers reflected in signs were proposed for the mechanisms of scripts by which the participants play out to structure time. The first script will be dealing with the number 1, Aries, and the planetary energy of Mars. Infants between the ages of birth to about 2 epitomizes the sign of Aries. They are the center of the universe. Leave the room and you cease to exist. However, when they want you now. There is neither the future nor the past, only now. Little children can sometimes be manipulated. A child reaches for something you don't want to touch, you have a crisis. If you deny, you have a confrontation leading to uproar. They do, however, have the amazing skill of shifting gears in emotion. They can shift from uproar to happiness in a second. You learn a more peaceful solution. Catch the eye of the infant with something shiny, and there is a chance of diverting the object of desire. Aries are good starters, but poor finishers. The season of Aries may be summed up in one word: confusion. It may rain, sleet, snow, and be sunny within 5 minutes. The earth could care less what we mortals define as spring. There could be a blizzard well into Aries, and we are brought back into the collective of winter. Aries is a cardinal sign. It exudes a powerful force with the aim of conquering the universe. This force is a reaction from the fear of being swallowed back into the womb of the collective, winter, and is therefore heavily motivated by survival, fear. Aries is a fire sign. It literally strives to burn the bridges from which it emerged, so as to ensure its continued existence. It is this combination of fire and cardinality which makes the Aries the pioneer. It is such a powerful force to overcome darkness that brings forth light of a new day. This is the force of Mars and the number 1. As mentioned, Aries is the archetype of masculinity. It is defined as the power to focus into a monochromatic laser light producing action. I hope no one is offended by my symbol of a man with a penis extended as a lightning bolt. Recall, I discussed some mythology regarding the penis erected and castration. The erected phallic represents the fire force extending into a new direction and is unprotected. It is seeking the feminine, the yoni, to surround it, creating a bond, reuniting the Tao. The initial lightning is reflected in Aries. This is plasma in the glow mode. One more reminder. The number 1 is an illusion and a simulation based on duality. Thus, throughout the script, the yin portion is invisible from the senses in some illusion. The script for the number 1 is to bring it into view. Thus, the yin portion starts with the number -1, the shadow. Aries is a fire sign on the cusp of the 1st house. It will have Leo, another fire sign, on the 5th house cusp. There is a flow between the 1st and the 5th house. Leo in the 5th house is the arena where he can shine and expand his domain. Inherent in all these scripts is a flowing or trine aspect between the 1st and the 5th house. It's a gift given to the script which allows for ego glorification. In our case, we have fire flowing from Aries 1 to Leo 5. Thus we designated Aries trine Leo as representing the Yang manifestation of the script. I call it a one-trick pony. This brings in the harmonious energy of will and desire. The desire of Aries via Mars, the desire to conquer the world, while the will force represented by the Sun supplies the energy so as to manifest it. This trine represents energy which promises fulfillment of desire through the will. The will solidifies the desire until it is complete. This is the gift where innocent desire with will succeeds over wisdom of the day. Such a flow promises that whatever is desired wins. Parsifal, in the myth of the Holy Grail, represents the archetype of the masculine. The book, He, by R.A. Johnson, is excellent in describing this myth. It's available online, free as an ebook. It's amazing. There is a wealth of valuable information regarding astrological analysis without mentioning the words. In this myth, Parsifal's first battle was with the Red Knight. Parsifal was pure innocence with no battle experience, whereas the Red Knight was the champ with lots of experience. Yet Parsifal defeated them. This flowing trine aspect of the promises such results. Innocence defeats wisdom. As a result of these efforts, wisdom is gained. He learned how to win. The accumulation of wisdom obtained through the senses is stored away in this hard drive called the mind and can be used again in similar situations. In this script, my wisdom, the third house, is Gemini, which is the planetary thinking mind of Mercury. Every time he creates, it is recorded in the lower mind, and the associations can be used repeatedly. This implies that the Aries, when he wins, is observing himself winning, and this information is stored away so that he can attain it, the correct manifestations in the future. The will, solar energy, is needed to overcome the obstacle. He may lose a battle, but he wins the war, as long as he has enough will. Every time he conducts the experiment, he gathers information, whether he wins or loses. I'm introducing a new aspect called the sextile, the 60-degree angle between planets, resulting in the division of the whole by 6. Astrologers love sextiles. They call them opportunity. Since they want to be positive in their readings, they are considered a half-trine, promising flow. In actuality, the sextile offers information resulting from doing the experiment. However, there can be no information if the experiment isn't conducted. If the player decides not to conduct the battle, there cannot be any information available. As a result of winning, his self-esteem, Taurus 2, is enriched. The second house is the barometer in scripts. In this case, self-esteem is gained in the winning segment, while it is lost in the losing segment. So these are the creative forces in action. Aries, 1, cardinal, the desire. Leo, fire, fixed, the active creativity, the will. Gemini, 3, air, mutable, the knowledge acquired in the act. Taurus, 2, earth, fixed, is the gain of self-esteem. This is the barometer. It indicates where we are in the cycle. So this constitutes the win or winning side of the script. Now the creative fire script, if unchecked, will ignite the entire universe. The Father, Saturn, must intervene, creating barriers, preventing this from happening. So the midheaven is somehow instrumental in bringing balance. It is the nature of the midheaven working through Saturn to teach Aries to become aware of Libra and balance. Ultimately, the Aries individual must become choiceless between Aries and war and Libra and peace. Both are needed. Let the universe decide which is needed. In this script, Capricorn and its ruler, Saturn, occupies the midheaven. Saturn, the ruler of time, inverts the polarity and creates the time-space reality where the Aries individual has no consciousness and is in a state of need. Whenever an infant ventures out too far into the outer world, he would cry for mother. Whenever Parsifal was confronted with a reality he couldn't handle, his thoughts always went to mother. Thus the Aries in need would cry for the energy of Cancer to heal the burns from misdirected fire. This brings on the yin cycle. The sign on the cusp of the fourth house is the energy needed that brings on the yin cycle. In this case, it is Cancer, 4, and water to heal the burns of fire. There is, however, a price to pay for such nurturing. This is shown astrologically by the trine from Cancer 4 to Scorpio 8. Signs on the 4th and the 8th house have the same element, water in this case. Whenever there was a need acknowledged by the universe, there would be a heavy price paid by the Aries 1. It would be an admission of not being self-sustained hero. The nurturer gains power, Scorpio. It gains power when she takes his fire. When in need, the 8th house in Scorpio becomes polarized, meaning that the 2nd house of Taurus is deflating. The need for nurturing results in the loss of 2nd house energy, which is what he values most, his self-esteem. Our Aries individual loses self-worth whenever he cries for mother. It's hard to be a hero when you are clinging to your mother's apron string. As in the Yang Script, there is a synthesis, or something learned. Recall the synthesis in the Yang Script was Gemini and information learned from the created process. There is also a synthesis in the Yin Script, and what is learned is the energy of Virgo on the cusp of the 6th house. The feminine mind is turned on, bringing on thoughts of guilt with the aim of defeating Aries. These thoughts of guilt are meant to show the individual areas where there is a lack of consciousness regarding relationships with others. Now recall, in the Parsifal myth, the winning part was when he was in the arena, in Red Knighting. Whenever he was involved in a relationship with mother, was where she ruled through guilt. Parsifal wandered into the Grail Castle and experienced timelessness. When asked, for whom does the Grail serve, he said himself and was rejected. However, it was so beautiful there that he never forgot it. At the heights of his career in the arena, he was to be honored for his deeds. However, an old woman came forward, exposing him on all his sins he committed on the path to be the greatest. All these sins were against women. Parsifal's depression led him on a path toward learning the meaning of life. Fruits offered by the lower mind no longer gave him desire. So we see Parsifal wandering off. The dilemma of these squares is the endlessness of the script that goes on and on and on. The native appears to be a victim of these dramas. When he is winning, he is disconnected from others. Therefore, unconscious forces are looming. When the tables are turned, he is then in a state of need, resulting in feelings of being kicked by the universe. Such is the tragedy of this script. One does not have to have Aries Sun or Ascendant to play this script. Anyone who has the following planetary aspects will somehow be involved in the script. Planets in Aries trining Leo, or Mars trine the Sun. Planets in Cancer trining Scorpio, or Moon trine Mars or Pluto. Planets in Aries squaring Cancer planets, or Mars square the Moon. And also planets in the sign or houses of Aries will also be affected. Moreover, the planetary position of the rulers will give clues to these blocks. Okay, now we can generate the Yang and Yin plots by their house numbers and set up a matrix that we use for all the remaining scripts. Again, the positive side of the Yang script is numbered by the trine between the 1st and the 5th house energies. What is learned from the experience is gleaned in the third house. The switch from Yang to Yin script is manifested by the square between the first and the fourth houses. These two energies, in square aspect to each other, produces the conflict. The fourth house cusp is in trine aspect to the eighth house cusp, which provides the gift energy in the Yin phase. This energy will be used to bring back the balance to the Yang phase. What is learned is on the cusp of the sixth house, and this will be the transmuting energy to bring the energy to its opposite. In this case, from Aries to Libra. Thus, we have astrological algebra that reflects itself in the dilemmas that we experience whenever we identify with any one of these scripts. This particular script deals with plasma in the glow mode. The CSP appears to have very little understanding of the element fire, or plasma, whether it is in the dark mode or in the glow mode, as in the production of energy. They worship the thermodynamic laws and invoke them whenever a system appears to have free energy. Without thinking, it is condemned as voodoo science. The bottom line from these thermodynamic theories is that you can't get something from nothing. As a result, the CSP only accepts processes that are exothermic, meaning exploding something, producing products that are harmful to the planet and to the players. The allowed alternates are the old standbys, wind and solar. These are okay for individuals because the individuals will cut back use when there is no sun or wind, or they have a gas generator as backup. On a municipality level, it would require the current grid for backup. So what is gained? This has been a status quo for a century. The thermodynamic theories were derived in a closed system. In open systems, they are constantly violated. Open systems mean there is an opening to the ether. I remember sailing and thinking, wow, I am getting something from nothing. Sure, the wind could die, but for this moment, I am getting something from nothing. Now, wind is created whenever the ether is disturbed, resulting in an area of heat causing a displacement of air. Is it possible to disturb the Tao, or ether, to bring on polarity? There are probably hundreds. Why aren't they available to us? The same reason why Tesla was stopped. After the success of Niagara Falls, Tesla was given $1 per kilowatt. It's unimaginable how much that is, even at that time, yet he died in poverty. His name is omitted from the science books. So don't underestimate the powers of the controllers. Their eradication program consists of first ignoring. They work by removing the inventor from the public. Now, it's impossible to get a patent if it violates known theories, like the thermodynamic laws. Industry spends a lot of money in research on potential processes. Their aim is to get patents which they can use against the inventor. If there is any possibility of conflict, the inventor won't be able to do anything with his invention until it is cleared by the courts. Never. If the invention can be considered as a threat to national security, the inventor won't be able to work on it again. If all else fails, then there's always murder. Many inventors have died under suspicious conditions. Meanwhile, the controllers continue to enjoy their cash cow, petroleum, for both financial and political reasons. The controller's final step is the penetration of the movement and tweak it to make it into a religion. It's a sobering thought to think that the CSP is preventing humanity from having unlimited energy. Now the question, if humanity had unlimited energy, Will it lead to win-win regarding the Earth, or will it feed their addictions, leading to the destruction of Earth and eventually themselves? Now, the research on these devices are available. What is needed is industrial development. Just like the early days with TV, these systems would need to be tweaked for mass use. Unfortunately, it would take a quantum shift in consciousness to make this happen. But the science is already here. I hope you are enjoying these sessions. This one was devoted to the number 1 in the Aries script. The mysteries of number 2 in the second script will be discussed in our next session. Please join me then. I wish you good day.